Hello guys, North Train Spot 390 here. We're doing a bit of a different video tonight. This one is on unpopular railway opinions. Are we ready? I don't massively rate Class 195s and 331s. They're good trains. Yeah, they're better than what they replaced. But their seats are pretty crap. They're worse than 800s in my honest opinion. They're not the best ride. And they still do get quite busy. But then again, they are. They're not that big, but they are good trains. They are definitely good, and they are definitely better than what they replaced, as I said. Next up, are we ready for this one? 800s are only 8'd because of what they've replaced. Yep, I think the fact that the 800s have replaced one of the most iconic trains in British history is the reason why they're so badly 8'd. You can use the seat excuse all you want, but you're really not fooling anybody. Yeah, if these were replacing something a little less popular, I'm quite confident that not as many people would hate them. Next up, Pacers are not as bad as people make them out to be. Now, I am by no means a Pacer fan, but I'm also not necessarily a Pacer hater. They're not as bad as people make them out to be. It's like they break down every single week and never get you from A to B, when really Pacers are one of the most reliable trains we've had around for years. Next up, and Spotting's just not what it was a while ago. West Coast Mainline especially, we just, even as little as 2 or 3 years ago, we just got far more freight, far more surprises than what we get now. Like, it just, anywhere really. Preston's just a bit of a problem as well recently. It's not as good as it used to be. Next up, Victoria is a pretty overrated station for everything really. Photography's not good at Victoria, neither's filming, and it's just, look at that monstrous photo there. That's not a good picture, and neither is the next one. But it's not a station I'd recommend filming at, to be honest. I'd far rather recommend something like Salford Central, or if you want to see the TP stuff, something like Ashton Underline, apart from my farcical video. But yeah, Victoria's not one I'd recommend. Next up, I do not see any sort of benefit in TP stopping at Gatley. They've been doing this as of late. They've been adding stops like Lee Green and Newton Willows, which I can kind of understand, but Gatley, I just don't understand at all. If anything, it's just slowing journeys down unnecessarily. I mean, again, yeah, the speed restrictions aren't too good on the airport line, but still. Next up, HSTs started to get less good when the Valentas got replaced. So, the Valenta engines were replaced in the early 2010s, but up until that point, I honestly thought HSTs were the creme de la creme. They were the best trains in the country by quite a distance, but, you know, it was the start of the end when the Valentas were replaced, I think, and they've just not sounded the same since. Next up, Class 175s I've always found quite underrated, personally. I've never had a problem on one. I think they're quite comfortable. I think they're quite nice to ride on. And yeah, I would have these at Northern, to be honest. Definitely have these at Northern. I think they are really nice trains, which for some reason just get overlooked. Next up, about 97% of hybrid/transitional liveries are hideous. Now, this thing here, how this was ever allowed to grace British Railway, I do not know. This is, quite frankly, the ugliest, most hideous livery to ever grace any train in history. Even worse than that 158. And to make it worse, there's a livery now which rivals this. But this thing here, I am so glad that I will never ever see this ugly piece of crap again. That I will never see this ugly piece of crap livery again, and that we'll see it in the orange livery. Ran over. Next up, and in my opinion, Class 70s are the best freight locomotives. They sound great, they just look absolutely incredible. Every time I've seen one, it's just looked absolutely ace. I just really rate them. I really rate Class 70s, and I think they're probably the best modern freight loco of the lot, and I know it seems unpopular because a lot of people don't like them. Reliability is a bit of a thing, but hey, they're mint. Next up, I'm just starting to find Class 88s a little bit boring now, especially when the same one appears over and over again. So this was the 77 millionth time I saw Juno, and it's just 88s have just become quite common now, and especially Juno. Oh my god, what a wow. Yeah, 88s I just don't really find that good anymore. Though, yeah, they're still great, but I just think there's far better locos than them now. Next up is something that'll probably be a rant one day, but this railway community is very, very toxic. There are certain people out there who just thrive off winding people up, putting people down, and just taking the mick. I know people out there who get the pee taken out of them by people from the same railway community. It is for a rant one day, this, because I'm definitely going to do it. But yeah, that's that. Next up, High Speed 2 should be scrapped. We honestly really, really don't need it, and whether this is an unpopular opinion, I don't know, because a lot of people share it, but far more work is needed in the north. Our lines are just being left to rot. I mean, fair enough, recently our line has shown a bit of an improvement with the 158s and whatnot, but even though I joked about it, I wouldn't actually be surprised to see my line eventually close down over this. Next up, I just don't really think we needed the Ordsall Cord. All the Ordsall Cord has done is add journeys to add time to TPE's journeys. I'm going to get my words out there, and there's just no benefit. It would have just been better for him to reverse at Piccadilly and go in less time, because that Castlefield corridor is a massive problem. We needed 15 and 16 at Piccadilly. And finally, my favourite train company is Chiltern Railways. Whether this is really unpopular, I don't know, but for most it seems to be Great Western Railway, LNER, companies like that, but my favourite is Chiltern Railways. I fell in love with Chiltern Railways when I went down there, not in that way. But yeah, I really like them. It just reminds me of exciting times, like when we went to Dorset. Yeah, and there's just so much variety with Chiltern Railways as well. Like this absolute beauty, which still has the Wrexham and Shropshire livery on it. I'll never forget it. And this picture here just appears on every single video, doesn't it? So yeah, Chiltern Railways are my favourite train operating company. And guys, if you have any unpopular railway opinions, I'm quite sure you do. Yeah, leave a few comments if you absolutely want to, if you've got the guts to. It's took me a while to do this. Unless you like 66419 and then don't ever watch my videos again. Obviously I'm joking, but I do really, really hate that livery. And yeah, that is it. And until next time, guys, North West Train Spot 390, out.